How do you identify different marine worms? Imagine walking along the shoreline and spotting a tiny creature wriggling in the sand or clinging to rocks. How can you tell what kind it is? Marine worms are incredibly diverse, and learning to identify them can be quite fun. They come in many shapes, sizes, and colors, and each type has unique features. To start, look at their body structure. Many marine worms, especially those in the phylum Annelida, have segmented bodies. These segments are like little rings running down the length of the worm. If you see a worm with clear, repeating sections, it's likely an annelid. Some of these segments might have tiny bristles called seedy or fleshy protrusions known as parapodia, which help with movement. Flatworms, which belong to the phylum Platyhelminthes, are different because they are unsegmented and flattened from top to bottom. They look soft and often have a ribbon-like shape. Roundworms, or nematoda, are smooth, cylindrical, and unsegmented. They tend to be smaller and more uniform in shape. Size and color are also clues. For example, peanut worms, which are part of the phylum Annelida, look like small cylinders and can retract their introvert, a sort of extendable head. Ribbon worms from the phylum Nemertea are long, slimy, and often bright in color, with a distinctive proboscis used for catching prey. Polychaete worms, which are a type of annelid, often have dense clusters of bristles and can display iridescent colors. Some, like sea mice, are quite colorful and covered in bristles. Tube worms, such as Pomidicero species, build calcareous tubes that can be white, cream, or brown. The shape and texture of these tubes help in identifying the species. Habitat and behavior are also important. Some worms live in tubes attached to rocks or seaweeds, like Spirorbis worms, which create tiny spiral tubes. Others burrow in sandy sediments like lugworms, which make U-shaped tunnels and help aerate the sand. Watching how they feed can also give clues. Some extend tentacles from their tubes to catch food, while others actively hunt or scavenge. Look for special features like tentacles, bristles, or parapodia. The way a tube spirals can also be a clue. For example, Spirorbis worms spiral their tubes clockwise. Color patterns matter too. Some worms are bright pink or red, which can help you tell them apart. Reproductive traits can be clues as well. Some worms reproduce by splitting into parts, while others releases eggs and sperm into the water. Certain behaviors, like flatworms fencing with their penises, are unique but requiring close observation. To really narrow down your identification, knowing the taxonomic group helps. For example, polychaetes are mostly marine segmented worms with bristles, while other worms like earthworm relatives are less common in the ocean. Recognizing these groups makes it easier to figure out which species you're looking at. In the end, identifying marine worms is about paying close attention to their body shape, size, color, habitat, and behavior. Combining these clues with your knowledge of their taxonomic groups makes it easier to tell one species from another. This skill helps us understand their role in the ecosystem, like how burrowing worms aerate the sediment or how they serve as food for many marine animals. It also helps in keeping track of marine biodiversity and protecting these fascinating creatures.